Hey everybody, Psychosaurus is here. Welcome back to Age of Pass Online. And yay, as you can see, Halloween event is back. So yeah, time to farm some more items and yeah, vanity and whatever. So, there was a patch and there's the block for the Halloween event. So let's talk about those first. And let me scroll up first. Okay, so let's take the patch notes. So changelog, Halloween event 2025 data preloaded. We'll go with that. It started today. So if you're watching this, probably tomorrow, so you will know there's already been Halloween event going on for 1 day at least. But yeah, so Halloween event is on. We'll get to the blog about the Halloween event. Quest updates. Updated the Halloween archive quest rewards and cooldowns, which is for the Halloween points and the materials and the chests, of course. Temporarily disabled some of the archive quests, which are also featured in the main event region. So basically, as you have the Haunted Isle, you will have some legendary quests there, and those were removed from the archive. So the Zahak's prison. So you don't have some quests playable twice. Okay, and this one, your finest horror, Fright Club, Dead of the Night. Remove the bonus multipliers from the enemy units. I'm not gonna get angry, guys. Like, just keep making legendary quests easier, sure. Just keep making it. Like, we had the goddamn absurd advisory work. Now this, whatever. Who cares, Like, you could manage those quests quite easily before. Even the Fright Club got reworked, so it was much easier. So yeah, now let's make them even easier. Whatever. I have nothing else to say about it. You know my opinion. Okay, and then final one. Other updates increase the damage stat on Bahram's branded arm guard to 25.5% from 16.7%. So this change and this change. These are the main ones. Otherwise, it's just for the Halloween event. So if you ask me about this, first of all, thank God I'm not a fan of Bahram items, so I'm not using them. If you want them, it's your choice. I cannot tell you anything about it. But let me just say, goddamn, we are buffing this item again. Which, if we take a look, these are the old stats. This is what it was before this change. You can already see good amount of damage, movement speed, really good amount of line of sight, and the cost increase is there, but it's not as high as the Bahram boots. Already a really strong item for ranged units. We're buffing the damage. Let me just remind you, those ranged death balls, like whether it's Gastraferes, whether it's Babylonian chariots, Egyptian chariots, Indian chariots, doesn't matter. Those are really strong right now. They can manage so many quests. And we are buffing them further, Like, okay, Bahram item, not everyone has this, so at least it takes a while to get there. But yeah, it's still a buff, Whatever. Like, let's keep buffing it, Like, ranged death balls already are quite boring to me, It's not fun, Like, you're just killing enemy units from the distance. Whatever. And we are just gonna make it even worse. Well, let's move on to the Halloween event, because there are also a few things. So, Halloween event, yes, it's here. It's not almost, it's already here. So, how to access, the typical stuff. Find the mummy at the Empire. Is it Empire Store? Empire Store, yeah. Empire Bazaar is Marcus Pollux. So, Empire Store, remember, this tall building, not where Marcus Pollux is. You take the quest, visit the Haunted Isle, there should be a pop-up, but if you just go to the world map and just complete the quest, it should take you right there. Or if you want to find it in the world map, then it's in the Mesopotamia, where the Babylon is. Or you can just use the shortcut as usual. New thing about this event. So this event, we are getting the daily logins, which, by the way, this event started a little bit sooner than usual because I believe last year it was like 26th or 27th of October, so 1 week later, and it would last, I think, only 3 weeks. So yes, now we are getting 5 weeks of the Halloween event. So yay, this is going to be the longest one yet. But yeah, you're getting the daily login rewards for the Halloween event this year. So as you can see, the typical stuff, Halloween points, the materials for the Halloween event. So as you can see, those 4 kinds of materials, man. Like, I'll be honest, guys. I have zero idea why do we even keep having like 4 different kinds of materials when basically we use the same amount of all materials and get the same amount in rewards. You know, like in summer event it's different because those minigame quests give you different values. But in Halloween event, if I'm not mistaken, every single quest will give you like the some amount of the epic ones and then 100 times more of those rare ones, and that's it. Like, I feel like for a Halloween event it kind of lost reason to like have all these materials separate, to be honest, but whatever, it exists. So as you can see, they free some consumables. So if you want some consumables, hey, you have some for free on day 3. You can see a lot of coins, chests, some points, materials, and obviously day 7 is very important. That's when you get some legendary Halloween event gear. Okay, so you can see this week, if you've missed today, unfortunately, but you will be missing the Zahak's Heavy Spear of the Undying for free. Unfortunate, sorry, but I don't have time to like do this in the morning, you know. So it's the best I can do right now. But anyway, first week, if you haven't missed, yes, you can get the Zahak's Heavy Spear. Next week, you can get the Marduk's Bow. Then you can get the Zahak's Idol, then Zahak's Amulet, and then Zahak's Sword. Some of these you should be able to get during this event anyway. So yeah, if I remember, the Heavy Spear is on the menu during the event, so you can get it. So even if you miss it, hey, you should be still able to get it. Although right now it's missing, but it should be added hopefully soon. Anyway, legendary quests, there is practically nothing new. There is nothing new. So if you've watched, you can watch my previous videos doing these legendary quests, and basically the same thing, you know, except those first 3 quests mentioned in the patch notes. Yes, those are now easier. Man. Anyway, pretty much the same stuff. Mini games, of course, those do exist as well. So what can you do? What can you get? Legendary gear, vanity gear, consumables, some event chests, which you can then get some random gear, some decorations, and it says more. Well, whatever. Decorations here, the Zahak's Prison, which with the visit other players' cities, you don't really need it, but hey, it definitely can save you some clicks when you want those quests. So yes, it's definitely recommended, but it shouldn't be your number 1 priority at the moment, you know. Then there is, of course, the mention of this random Juggernaut. Yes, he is spawning during the quest. I already saw him a few times for myself, even before the Halloween event even officially started, but the patch already happened. Anyway, we have new Halloween event gear, and when I saw the announcement, like, for the 3 pieces of gear, I was like, I saw the belly bow, I was like, I'm expecting something like the Marduk's bow, and it pretty much became like that. Then I saw the belt, which I was like unsure of what it would be. Then I saw the stats over here, and I was like, man, that has to be a typo, because you saw these numbers right there. Luckily, it was a typo, man. But goddamn, I saw it, and I was like, man, I hope that's a typo. Luckily, it was. And then I saw the plating, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so Marduk's Belly Bow of the Unyielding. Damage 32.3%, attack rate 16%, maximum range 15.6%. If you don't have your legendary belly bow, this is your chance to get one. However, as you can see, this one is available in the store for Halloween points. And we'll get to the price. It's quite expensive. Luckily for you, you don't need many belly bows. You need only 2. One for Greek Gastropheres and one for the Roman Scorpio. So 2 are just fine. But it is still a lot of points if you want to get those. Stat-wise, I'll be honest, I don't find attack rate to be that strong for Gastropheres nor Scorpios. Both of those units get their attack rate either through champion upgrade or through advisor. So they already get their attack rate, and I feel like they don't need any more. And at the same time, if you know how to use them properly and you micro them properly, there is like no real need for the attack rate that much, you know. So overall, I would still suggest going with more of the full damage build. So like King's Belly Bow or Master Hunter if you want the movement speed. But hey, if you want this, then I would suggest using this when you have some frontline, not necessarily pure death balls of Gastras or Scorpios, but like you have Gastras with Hoplites as a frontline, or you have Scorpios with Legionaries as a frontline. That at that moment it's more like a sustained damage, then yes, I would suggest using it then. But hey, if you don't have your belly bow yet, your legendary one, which these days very rare to drop one, it's your chance to get one, you know. So definitely, if you don't have it, you should definitely try to get this one if you want it, of course. And overall stat wise, like I kind of don't like that the overall DPS output of this belly bow is higher than what the King's belly bow offers, as well as much higher maximum range. I kind of dislike it in that manner, but at the same time, as I said, I do not consider the attack rate being that necessary for Gastras nor Scorpio. So if you ask me, this belly bow might look good on paper, but if you know how to use Gastras and Scorpios properly, you won't really need it, you know. Maybe I should make a video, but at the same time, I feel like I don't wanna, because it should be part of your skill, you know. You should learn on your own sometimes. Yeah. That's a nice thing you can do with Gastras and make them super efficient. But yeah, I don't know if I ever want to talk about it. Because I feel like, hey, you should learn it yourself, you know. I don't want to like spoil you everything in this game. Anyway, if you want it, it's a good belly bow. Then Marduk's Belt of the Unyielding. As I mentioned, like when I saw the first stats, goddamn, no. Thank God it was typo. Then I saw this and I was like, still goddamn, but at least it's not that bad, you know. So damage plus 12%, attack rate plus 8.5%, health minus 12%. So yeah, you're training your health for more damage. So how should I say it? Okay, it's definitely not something you would want to put on your melee units, because obviously when you lose health, those melee units will die sooner, unless you have a lot of health on those units. So hey, maybe you could try using this on something like Elephant, you know, like War Elephant, Juggernaut, you know, like getting the extra damage even more, like if you know how to keep them alive, you know, Chanakya exists right now. It can be an interesting option, but other than that, this item is obviously mainly for ranged units. And as I said, like goddamn, ranged death balls are already so strong, like we are buffing them again. Okay, you don't have the Bahram item. Here's your item. Okay, now obviously there could be some comparison to the Master Assassin's gauntlets. So let's compare it to that one, okay? So if you have Master Assassin, that's 13% damage, a lot more health, obviously, you're not losing any health, but with Master Assassin, you're also getting higher cost. So that means with this belt, your units are much cheaper, so it's easier to produce them. You're getting better damage output overall, and the trade-off is the health. Now the question is, if you have the ranged unit and it has a lot of range, so the enemy units will not even reach them. Who cares about the health loss, you know? And even if you lose few units here and there, they are cheaper now because you don't have the cost increase from the Master Assassin's Gauntlet. So they are cheaper. If you lose few, hey, easy to replace them. So if you ask me, 100% going for the ranged units. Definitely, I would suggest on those super long range builds. So Gastraferes, Babylonian chariots, or chariots in general, because they usually have a lot of health. They can definitely take some health loss. But I would not suggest Carpentoms. Carpentoms don't have that huge range, so they will be taking damage, and I feel like the health loss there is not that good. But if you want to try it, hey, give it a try. It is an option. Definitely not anti-ranged ranged units. I think in their case, you know, like, usually they don't have that high damage. So Peltas, Slingers, Skirmishers, you know, these kinds of units. I don't think you really want this. Although the cost increase is not there, so it can be an option for the skirmisher and just focus on the damage output against ranged units. So, sorry, not skirmishers, but like, you know, like Egyptian slingers, I feel like it's better if you add some extra health because their piece armor is super huge. And if you support them with priestess, you can soak a lot of pierce damage. Peltas definitely would prefer more health, although I would prefer nerfing their range as well. Yeah, Celtic Slingers, same thing. So I would say if your ranged unit is gonna take damage anyway, I would suggest not using this item and just go with the Master Assassin. But if your ranged unit has good amount of health and or can just kill enemy units before they reach them, then this item is obviously for you, which again is just gonna be buff for Gastras and Babylonian chariots. And goddamn, why do we keep buffing? Like, already the best ones, and they keep getting buffed over time. Like, it's so terrible. And legendary quests becoming easier as well. God dang it. Well, there's your belt of the unyielding. If you want it, ranged units are definitely an option. I also wanna try out. This one is just something that came to my mind. Immortals could be also interesting with their ranged attack. I wonder how those could work out with this belt. Because the cost increase is not there. And then I could also have reason to use the defensive upgrade from Esfandiar over the offensive one. Because I would get the offense from here and Esfandiar would compensate for the health loss, kinda. Could be interesting, you know, trying out a little bit different build for Immortals. It's just a thought, you know. And then there's the Marduk's Plating of the Unyielding. I saw the stats and I knew 100% where to put it. Palintorons and siege ships. So Ballista Triremes, Catapult Triremes, Mangonel Galleys. Maximum range plus 12.5%, attack rate plus 18%. And you can guess it's obvious choice for Palintorons, because why? One of the biggest weaknesses of Palintorons is their slow attack rate, and when you need to attack a building twice to destroy it, yes, the attack rate is gonna help a lot. Plus you're getting the maximum range. The only alternative to the maximum range is the craftable legendary, whatever it's called. Is it like runic, bronze, whatever, that one gives health, movement speed, and maximum range. Now the advantage is that one gives you slightly more maximum range, but at the same time it's just like it's going up to like 13.1 or something like that. So as you can see, like 0.6% when you already have like 115 or 17 range on your Palintoron, that's not a huge loss, you know. So you can definitely live without it. And yes, the attack rate is the best DPS output for your Palintorons you can get, because like, who cares about the extra damage, you know? Palintorons naturally do very high damage against buildings in general, so the only thing is they just attack very slow, so you want to make them attack faster, so you know, you just destroy the buildings a little bit sooner. So yes, this is definitely great for Palintorons. And as you know, I prefer not using Polythrons, but the other option, as I mentioned, are the Ballista Triremes, Catapult Triremes, and Mangonel Galleys. Those are just mainly designed against buildings, so when you get the maximum range as well as attack rate, obvious choice. Now, you could also try including enemies as well. Now, in that case, it depends on the quest, because if there's a lot of enemy naval ships, then I would not suggest this, because you are gonna take damage no matter what. In that case, I would suggest the craftable one if you have it, or just go Typhon if you have it, or just pick something with health, you know, because you're gonna take damage with those, and usually you will have a lot of those. So, no real need for any extra attack rate, to be honest. And if you just have them on the water and there is like limited number of ships, so you just destroy a few ships and then hey, the water is yours, then this is okay, I would say, you know. It's just the extra range will help you destroy stuff at a distance. The attack rate will make it they do more DPS as well. So in that case, yes, I can probably recommend using this. Obviously, we have few other siege units. Now, as you know, my opinion, I don't really prefer using more range or even attack rate on units like ballistas, catapults, nor onagers, because I feel like they already attack pretty fast in general. And I would just prefer the raw damage instead, so they destroy stuff faster, especially with the splash damage. In this case, I would say it can be okay to use on catapults or onagers when you actually use, you know, the other damage buff. So in case of catapults, you would use Senep for the extra 20% damage. In that case, you get compensated for the damage loss by not using Heavy Destroyer Weave. And yeah, you will just have like really strong catapults in that case, like super overpowered, and you have the extra range to help you as well, keep them safe. In case of onagers, obviously, if you buff them with Pompey Advisor and then also use Aquilifers to buff their damage as well, you'll get a lot of damage buff that, sure, this can be an option as well. Another option would be the Persian War Wagons, which in my opinion could be like second best choice, you know, like after Polythrons and the siege ships. Then War Wagons would be like probably the second best choice, because their attack is very slow, you know, like I remember like them attacking like very slowly. So now you can take this plating and you can also include the Marduk's bow, and so you get a lot of attack rate for your war wagons. This can be an interesting choice, and also you're getting the extra range, so you can keep your war wagons safely away from the enemy. This can be an interesting build, you know. And then one more that also came to my mind, and that is the Babylonian Siege Tower. And that is if you combine this with Farzana. That amount of attack rate you're getting altogether, oof, for the ranged attack, you know, that has to look so insane, you know. Damn, that's gotta hurt. Now, someone could also think of, like, you know, battering rams. It is an option, you know, because of, goddamn, again, Titus, you know, buffs. And you could just go full HP battering ram. Then, yes, you could probably go with this and utilize the attack rate, because one thing about the battering rams is their attacks are very slow. So in that case, yes, you could probably try it, and the attack rate should be very useful. But at the same time, yes, I don't want to suggest using Titus right now, because goddamn, that advisor is, yes, too strong right now. But yes, I gave you some options. Palinton's obvious choice. What else can I say? But yeah, if you are trying to compare it to the craftable one, then if your unit is gonna take a lot of damage, then make sure to use the craftable one for the extra health instead, you know. But if your unit is gonna be safe or protected with other units, then definitely you can go with this without a problem. Okay, what's coming back? The siege arm, the fire flask, the Marduk's bow, and the Zahak's axe. These are craftables. Then the light spear and heavy spear, those should be craftables, but unfortunately they are not available right now. So you cannot craft them at the moment, but hopefully it will get fixed soon enough. And then we have the shield, the Marduk's shield, and the Zahak's sword. And those are available at the store for Halloween points. If you want to know my opinion about these items, then make sure to check out my previous year's Halloween event videos, so you know. Anyway, one interesting thing about this event. Skirmish Hall rewards. So right now you can play Skirmish and earn some Halloween rewards. From what I saw, it was mainly chests and points. So you can get those while playing Skirmish, and those are, I dare to say, quite rewarding. All you need to do is like play against up to 10, like you have to defeat up to 10 of the strongest enemy AI. You will get completed the free global quests for Skirmish and get yourself some points. At the same time, you can use the Skirmish now to get some of those Skirmish exclusive items. For example, the King Minos' Radiant Shield, which is an item that I keep wanting, you know. Now you can have a good reason to start farming those Skirmish matches, you know. Those Skirmish chests. And yeah, I'll get to it, you know. I'll show you the Skirmish. And maybe I should make a video finally about the Skirmish, you know, like talking about it, what is it about. Maybe it's time. I should probably do that. And then yes, so accessing, of course, remember there are also some Spartan rewards as well. Then we have these quest givers. Yes, PvP, one in Sparta, one on the Haunted Isle. I kind of wish they just moved it to Sparta, because you always like see it at the Sparta and you can just ignore it here, because why would I go here and then back to Sparta, you know? Well, whatever, that's my opinion. So anything else? I believe this is mostly done. Yes, okay. So yeah, I'll keep the links in the description below, so you can check them out. Check the links for yourself. Also, one more thing, I did not mention it. Goddamn, I need to remember it. I need to, excuse me. I need to mention, because this new plating, I feel like it makes this plating, the Ishtar scarf plating, kind of redundant right now. That's why I don't like it, you know, because now there is one piece of item, like why to use it, you know? Either I use the heavy destroy weave because ballistas, catapults, you know, full damage, killing enemy units. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay, you can see this. So yeah, I would either use this one, or I would use the maximum range. And if I wanted like Palintorons or the siege ships to do full damage against buildings, I would pick this. But now when this item exists, what's the point, you know? So yeah, that's just another extra opinion I want to include as well. Anyway, let's get back to the Halloween event, okay? So as I said at the blog, visit the mummy at the Empire store, take the quest, you'll get access to the Haunted Isle right here, you know? Okay, this will lead you to Bahram, you complete the quest here, and as you can see, you have some of those legendary quests here, some of those global ones. Remember to take those as usual. And then of course you have the craftable ones, so you can see the fire flask, siege arm, bow, Marduk's bow, Zach's axe, Marduk's ancient plating, so you have it here. You can see 2020. once every 1 day and 12 hours you can get one. And then the ancient belt, same thing. Let's just look at the cost. Yeah, so this is 25, 25, 25, 25. So those old items are more expensive slightly. So yeah, try to get as many of these as you want. Now it's 2020, so if you play those legendary ones, you will get how much? Like this is like 5, this is I believe 4. So yeah, 4 or 5 quests and you will get one of those items that you want. Or even maybe 6 quests, and yes, you just need to play a few legendary quests and you get them quite easily. Of course, if you don't want to play legendary quests, and remember these are not all legendary quests here, you can always visit some other player for their Zahak player, or if you have one at your home city, then just go there, you will get few more quests there, also with the rewards. Remember to grab those, okay, for some extra points as well. If you don't want to play legendary quests, of course PvP is an option. As you can see, you have the option like get these quests for yourself, obviously available at the spot as well. You have those minigame quests here, which as you can see also good amount of materials, but depends on the quest. This one is pretty fast. Bahram embalmed, yeah, this one is quite rewarding. I was just playing this like 12 minutes, you get good amount. 10 minutes you get good amount. Oh, this one is okay. Lots of ghouls, lots of materials I see. Mummy issues, okay. Which way to the village? This one is also. And grave mistake. Yeah, okay, so yeah, prefer if you don't want to play those legendary quests and want to play something faster, these are pretty good option as well.
Make it happen.
If you want to earn some extra Halloween points, and obviously you can trade materials. Good news is also that there is one extra quest for each material that allows you to sell larger bundle of those materials, so you don't have to like, you know, click so many times when you're trying to like trade like 800 of these. So you don't have to do this quest 8 times, you know. Instead you just do this once and then 3 times that one. So yeah, so you have one for the typical full stack and then one for 5 full stacks. So these are the legendary advanced materials. As you can see, multiple wanted boards, and in each you will find 4 specific materials. So that one was legendary advanced materials. These are epic rare materials. Oh, sorry, epic advanced materials. So you can see like the diamonds. And then you have the epic base materials that you can trade. Okay, store. So here are the items. As I said, be ready to earn a lot of points for the belly bow. This one is 25,000 Halloween points. So if you want to get it, 25,000 Halloween points. As I said, you need only 2 in total. One for Gastras, one for Scorpios. So 2. If you want to get some more and maybe sell them to other players, that is an option. But yeah, if you want to get it, it costs quite a lot of Halloween points. Zark sword, if you want it, 35,000 points. Quite expensive, you know. So this is gonna cost you a lot. Marduk's shield is slightly better, like 15,000. So it's definitely more affordable than the other two. But still, it's a lot of points, you know. And if we just take a look, like how much do you get here? You get like almost 700. And you used to get even some extra for the secondary quests. You know, that's what it used to be. But yeah, you can see like 600, 500. So like you get more than 1,000 points for playing. Remember also the global quests, so you'll get some extra. So easily like 2 free quests and you can get like 2,000, maybe even more points. I don't have the exact numbers here, but good amount. Just try to play across all the saves, so you earn as many points from those global quests. But yeah, you will need a lot of points, as I said. And if you have some extra materials that you can trade for the points, then and you really want these items and don't want to craft anything like something that would be so urgent, then you can definitely trade those materials and get some extra points for these items as well. What else can you buy? Chests. So small ones, large ones, and then very, very large ones. Yes, so the larger one, the better chance of dropping legendary items. So this one is your typical normal chest, this one is like your legendary chest, and this one is like some boosted legendary chest or whatever you want to call it. Vanity items also available if you want those. Zach's prison if you want it, but of course, as I said, if you visit some other player, like for example me, I have it in every city, so you can visit any of my cities and play those archived quests there. But if you get it, it will definitely save you a few clicks, you know. Some decorations, so residences, mausoleum, tombstones, coffins, yeah, if you want to decorate your home city. Also the storehouse, the large one, you know, you can get one as well, right there, the floating that you place on water. There's also the haunted one that you can place on land. Graveyard, the decrepit buildings, and then of course some consumables as well if you want those. And yeah, I think let's showcase the skirmish.
Yes.
So yeah, so in skirmish,
Bye.
remember, go to Cyprus. Here is the arena.
Looking for a
Set
fight.
the matches. Remember to check this guy because he's gonna have some repeatable global quests for playing the matches where you defeat the heroes, and you want those because those earn you extra points, extra skirmish chests, and also now extra legendary chests for the event, which is funny. Like, oof, good reason, you know. And obviously the stronger enemies you defeat, the more you earn, you know. So yeah.
I'll be waiting.
So yeah, if you just go for the match, as you can see here, you're also getting, right now you'll be getting extra Halloween points and some extra legendary chest, and also it is set at the level depending on the difficulty, you know, like how many opponents, how strong they are, plus the map settings, you know. So for those, you can set the levels of those chests, and as you can see, the legendary one is also corresponding. So this one will give you some good chance. You know, this is actually good because now with this you have a chance to farm those epic or even rare if you want lower level items that are like really good, you know, for you that you want. For example, you could be getting what is it? You know, like the Roman toga for wood gathering. That is an epic one, so it could be a good way to earn it if you don't want to spend time at Moes right now. So that could be like one that comes to my mind. You could set it that you could get. I mean, what is a good item that you could get and it's not already legendary? God damn, that's all hard, you know. Because a lot of items right now have legendary variants, so it's hard to tell which item I would want right now at the moment. And that would be so worth it, you know. There are definitely a few interesting options, you know, like if you don't want to wait for the legendary one, but at the same time you could as well just farm legendary chests, you know. That's hard, you know, that's hard. But yeah, remember, set the difficulty, adding more. As you can see, the Halloween points are not going up, but the level of the chest is definitely going up, as well as the coin reward. It's not much, but hey, if you just play against 4, if you beat like up to 10 of those unstoppables per day, per save,
Come in. Let's talk.
you can just get those Halloween points right there, plus some extra legendary chests as well, you know. But yeah, it is Skirmish, so it might not be that enjoyable, and it might be just better to go play the legendary quest, because as you can see here, you're not getting the materials,
Good luck
which is
out
kind of
there.
sad. It's 40 extra points, but hey, this actually gives you a good reason to start farming, you know, these items like the King Minos Radiant Shield, Agamemnon's Heavy Spear. You know, these are pretty interesting options that I would definitely look at, and hopefully drop like some good drops, you know. But at the same time, I see kind of missed chance making like event skirmish legendary chests, you know, so you have better chance at dropping these items and just give me more reason to play so I can actually get those. That would be actually good decision in my opinion. At least this one, you know, at least this one chest could be interesting. Anyway, it is also a good reason to get those trophies. If you don't know how to get them, here just click here on the vanity trophies. This will switch the screen. You can scroll or switch and see what you need to do to actually get them done. But I'll definitely try to make skirmish video explaining this so you know how to get those. Anyway, is there anything else? I think that's gonna be all. Hopefully I did not forget anything, but hey, Halloween event is there. Make sure to farm a lot, especially the materials, so you get yourself the new items. And yeah, along the way, try to get as many points and try to get those 2 belly bows. 2 belly bows, more than enough, you know. And if you have the materials, you know, it might be better because the limited time is here. So it's completely up to you. If you don't want the belly bows, completely fine. You can save the materials for crafting like the legendary items or even epic ones if you don't have the legendary recipes yet. And also you can just buy those large chests, you know, and get some standard loot, you know, also an option. Anyway, I wish you good luck at hunting. I'm definitely gonna play some more skirmish right now. These days, at least I have some reason to play this and try to get the King Minos shield, maybe even the Agamemnon spear. I wanna see the Agamemnon spear, you know, that could be interesting for some builds. I wanna see that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button. If you wanna see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, next time I'll come up with the skirmish video. Hopefully soon, or maybe I'll play something else. We'll see. This was Psychosaurus. I'll see you next time. Bye!